Main character of the Street Fighter series, Ryu is also known as the World Warrior. He is a skilled martial artist who is committed to improving his strength through training. His first appearance was in Capcom's 1987 game, Street Fighter. And ever since, he went on to become a video game legend. Hey everyone, welcome to Wake Up Shoryu. And here are 10 facts about Ryu, the godfather of fighting games. The inspiration for many Street Fighter series characters comes from real people. Balrog, or M. Bison in the Japanese version of the games, is obviously modeled after Mike Tyson. Fei Long is basically Bruce Lee with fire kicks. Two distinct individuals, one real and one fictional, serve Takashi Nishiyama, Ryu's creator, as inspiration. The first is Masatatsu Oyama, a renowned Korean karate master. He would vanish for extended periods of time to train by himself in the mountains, much like Ryu. He would tour Japan, performing demonstrations at various dojos and competing in matches. Ryu also takes after the lead character in the manga series Karate Baka Ichidai. It followed a karate expert who went to Thailand to face off against the supreme Muay Thai fighter. The design for Sagat, another classic Street Fighter character, was also influenced by the manga's antagonist. We mentioned Sagat. Did you notice the giant scar on his chest? You probably did. I mean, it's kinda hard to miss. Well, it's there because of Ryu. You see, in Street Fighter 1, he was Ryu's opponent in the championship match, and at the end of the fight, Ryu used a Shoryuken, or Dragon Punch, to crush Sagat. Talk about leaving a mark. But it's not that simple. According to some unconfirmed rumors, the Dragon Punch used by Ryu to end the confrontation wasn't a regular Shoryuken. Various sources claim that, in the heat of the battle, Ryu lost control of his senses and briefly succumbed to the power of darkness, the Satsui no Hado, and launched a devastating Metsu Shoryuken on the unsuspecting Sagat. Evil Ryu is the form Ryu takes when he succumbs to the Satsui no Hado, which can be translated to the surge of murderous intent. It manifests as the will to destroy your opponent no matter what, and translates to an increase in power.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Evil Ryu first appeared in the Street Fighter Zero manga series, and was then a secret playable character in Street Fighter Alpha 2, and part of the roster in later games. He uses a lot of the same moves regular Ryu does, but with the power of the Satsui no Hado he has access to several of Akuma's techniques, and has also developed his own set of attacks. It's worth noting that Ryu canonically succeeded in repressing this evil power down the line, but it wasn't the end of the story. This repressed evil energy somehow went sentient and gave birth to a separate entity, Kage. Kage then seeked out to challenge Akuma and Sagat to show Ryu the extent of the Satsui no Hado's powers. Ryu has faced terrible foes throughout his journey, but did you know that spiders have a 10-0 matchup against him? Indeed, Ryu has arachnophobia, specific phobia or fear brought about by the irrational fear of spiders. Ryu's fear of spiders is also mentioned in the Marvel vs. Capcom series, when Ryu faces Spider-Man. But where did this fear come from? According to various sources, Ryu's fear of spiders is due to one day waking up with a spider in his mouth when he was still young. Ever since that dreadful morning, Ryu has never been the same. Some say it was Ken, his longtime friend and rival, that pulled this prank on him back when they were training together in Japan. While we're not sure if Ken was the one responsible for the whole spider situation, we know it was Ken who gave Ryu his iconic red headband. In the Street Fighter Alpha series, which happens between Street Fighter 1 and Street Fighter 2, Ryu is rocking a white headband, in fashion with his all-white dogi, and it is Ken who is wearing a red headband that he uses to tie his long hair. Ken's Alpha 2 ending shows him handing his headband to Ryu, as a souvenir of their match, during which Ryu was a bit shaky because of his encounter with Sagat.
Here comes a new challenger!
Hey everyone! If you enjoy fighting games, lore breakdowns, or gameplay analysis, please subscribe to our channel. Let us know what Ryu means to you in the comments. Okay, I'm out. Thank you!
Anyway, back to our world warrior. Ryu is now 59 years old, according to his official biography. He has been in every Street Fighter game, including the super fun Pocket Fighter or the Street Fighter EX series. All these years spent training and on the battlefield are perceptible in his outfits. Symbol of the passage of time, his classic white dogi is worn out and even tarnished because of all the fights. In Street Fighter 6 though, Ryu changed his style. He's now wearing a kasaya, a type of Buddhist robe reminiscent of his master Gokin. This change in design underlines Ryu's evolution and maturity. While being Street Fighter's most iconic character, Ryu hasn't always been the game's main protagonist. In Street Fighter 3, it was Alex. Then Abel in Street Fighter 4, and Rashid in Street Fighter 5. Wait, what? Rashid was Street Fighter 5's main protagonist? This information was confirmed by Takayuki Nakayama in the book Undisputed Street Fighter.
We intended for him to be the main character. That's one of the reasons why his outfit is white. We wanted to draw a comparison between a squeaky clean, modern Rashid and the old-fashioned, dirty white clothed Ryu.
Well, like they say, if you don't know, now you know. And now in Street Fighter 6, the series' latest installment, it's Luke's turn to be the main character. Ryu wasn't even the main character in the Street Fighter movie released in 1994. That honor went to Guile, played by Jean-Claude Van Damme. In that film, Ryu and Ken are a pair of traveling con artists who steal money from rich crime lords through schemes such as selling modified toy guns. But they eventually join Guile to take down M. Bison's army. This hasn't stopped Ryu from being Street Fighter's greatest ambassador, as he has crossed over to so many franchises over the years, and not only fighting games. Ryu appeared in dozens of fighting games, where he represented Street Fighter and Capcom. He was also in a few RPGs and even action games, as a guest character or available through a special skin. The last idea we'd like to share is that Ryu, as a fighting game character, helped revolutionize the genre. Indeed, before Street Fighter came out, fighting games were predominantly melee-based, since in most cases, it was only possible to hit your opponent with your fists or feet. Distance management and notions such as spacing were still underdeveloped. The game plan was just to get close to your opponent, keep hitting, and hope for the best. With Ryu's Hadouken, Street Fighter introduced a special move that allowed you to hit your opponent from afar, but also control the horizontal space in front of your character. This was the birth of the concept of zoning. This combination of the Hadouken, a horizontal projectile attack, and the Shoryuken, a vertical anti-air attack, quickly became Ryu's signature, and the essential characteristic of what is today known as the Shoto archetype. Since then, dozens of characters have emulated this style of play, adding their own flavors to the mix, while sharing the same foundation. More than 35 years after the release of the original Street Fighter, Ryu's legacy continues to live on through all these characters. Next July, he will celebrate a major milestone, hitting 60 years. Do you think he'll retire? We're not so sure about that, and we can't wait to see where his journey takes us next. This was Ryu, the godfather of fighting games. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.